Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about builds on Darius. I've already done a previous video on this, but I would like to bring it back. New season, new builds. I change my builds around quite a lot, and I discover new ones. When I say new, they're just a little bit different, or to other people's, or whatever. Really, I don't really like to follow other people's builds, especially not pro builds or anything. I think it's very generic for people to do something like that. So I try to get my own builds up and running. Some of them are quite conditional. So the Mallet Build's quite conditional. It requires the enemy team matchup to be quite specific, etc., etc. So I'm going to go through a few. I've got 4 builds here. I'm going to go through all of them. Some of them I've already gone through before, but I just want to bring it back. There's a few little tiny changes in them. So we're going to start with the normal, I call this the Cleaver build. So it's Black Cleaver, Dead Man's Plate, Spirit Visage, Steraks, Gage, Righteous Glory, and boots of your choice. Mercury treads, whatever you fancy. Whatever is applicable to the team you're against. So the Cleaver build is really good for teams that have at least 2 or more tanks. Tanks meaning people who really stack, armor and MR. Mainly armor in this instance for Darius, it would be armor. Of course, the Cleaver will be shredding. Although it did get nerfed recently, it's still applicable. It can still be applied to Darius, obviously for various reasons. I think Black Cleaver is just it works for Darius more than it would work for any other champion in League of Legends. I mean, it applies. All he needs to do is poke someone with a Q, and the bleed will just do the rest. And there you go, boom, 5 stacks, 24% armor shredded, and you can just maybe go in after you can just poke someone, let the shred happen, and then when the shred hits max, that's when you can go in, and then you've got an advantage already. So Dead Man's Plate is obviously there for a reason, because obviously it has armor, it has HP. It also has the passive, which is really good. It got changed, and I think it got changed for the better. You can only get extra damage on it if it's at 100% stacked. A lot like, I would compare it to energized attacks, so static shiv, etc. It builds up like that. It builds up from movements and all that. But now what happens is it doesn't get rid of all the passive and all the Black Cleaver stacks. I mean Dead Man's Plate stacks. It just takes away 20, I believe, from each auto, which means you still have the move speed, but obviously you're taking away a portion of it each time you auto attack, which is really, really, really fucking good, because if you're going to get ganked, and let's say you've got 60 stacks, you're not going to be getting rid of the move speed straight away all the time. You're still going to have it there, and I think it's changed for the better. It's absolutely perfect. So Dead Man's Plate is there for a reason, mainly for move speed. You got Spirit Visage, of course, which is pretty good now. I mean, it had I think it was a 5% increase or a 10%. I think it was 5, not sure. So that's there, and that's absolutely fantastic. I mean, I cannot stress how fucking awesome the passive on Spirit Visage is for Darius. I mean, it syncs so well with his Q. Also with the regen, and any other healing he gets from, maybe a Soraka or from Ardent Sensor, etc., etc. All that kind of good stuff. It gives MR. The MR isn't as good as it used to be, I believe. I think they nerfed that. Could be wrong though. But of course, it's got health, which, as you'll see, that pretty much every single one of these items that you'll see in every single build, apart from maybe the one I'm going to go through, which is the Aggressor Build, will have HP in it. Oh, actually, the Mallet Build too. But HP is so core, So Spirit Visage is there for obvious reasons. Also the cooldown as well. So you've got Black Cleaver already. We've gone through Black Cleaver, Dead Man's Plate, now Spirit Visage. So that's 30% CDR, and it's really crucial to get a CDR early on Darius. Very, very crucial. So the next one I'm going to go on is Steraks Gage. Steraks Gage got buffed, and I fucking love it. I loved Steraks Gage previously, but I just didn't feel like it had enough oomph for it to be as picked as I pick it now. So now I'm picking it a fucking lot, and as you'll see, it's pretty much every single one of these fucking builds. It actually is in every single one of these builds I'm about to talk about, because I really fucking love it. I mean, even if the enemy team doesn't have burst, because that's what Steraks Gage is pretty much there for, you know, it's a big shield. If it gets popped, you know, it's going to resist a lot of burst. But even if it isn't burst, I mean, it's still going to take away damage. It's still going to be absolute beast. So I put that in there, and obviously that's there for obvious reasons. You know, as soon as it gets popped, you know, you get increased damage, which is fantastic for Darius. And you know, it's a tank item as well as having that little bit of extra damage, which is absolutely fantastic. So Steraks Gage is obviously there for the HP, the damage, and the shield, the passive, shall I say. So the next one, the 5th item, will be Righteous Glory. Now, I love Righteous Glory. I don't really see very many Darius mains talk about using Righteous Glory in their build, and I don't really see people really using it at all. I mean, I've seen it in a few montages, but I don't really ever see, you know, the kind of, how shall I say it, the more popular Darius mains. You know, I don't think I see Epsilon using it, but if I'm wrong in that, then I'm wrong. But again, it's more playstyle. You know, if your playstyle is completely different, then you don't use it. It's as simple as that. But I love it for the HP, the mana. I mean, late game mana is not really a problem for Darius. But again, you know, you've still got the heal on using your spells and abilities. So, you know, it weighs up to be a really good item if you can utilize the active as well. So obviously the active is so fucking good if you can use it in the right scenario, in the right position, in a team fight, etc, etc. You can really fucking use it well. Obviously the last would be boots, and you know, boots can always be varied, you know, depending on what you're up against. If you're up against a lot of stunnage, then you'd go Mercury treads. If you're up against a lot of you know, maybe they're full AD or something, then you go Ninja Tabi, etc, etc. And you know, I will stress that all of these builds, you know, you can chop them up and change them a little bit. You know, maybe you don't want Steraks and you want to change it up for Randuin's, because Randuin's got buffed as well. It's now 20% minus another 10% on it, so now it's 20% crit damage reduction for yourself. So that would be good against Yasuo, you know, ADCs, etc, etc. You know, Righteous Glory as well is another one that you can take out of this build. But I feel like Spirit Visage, Dead Man's Plate, and Black Cleaver, obviously, well, Black Cleaver goes without saying, it's kind of core for a Cleaver build anyway. Dead Man's Plate and Spirit Visage, to be honest, they're really cool. I mean, Dead Man's Plate is probably the only one really that you could take out maybe. But anyway, the Dead Man's Plate and Spirit Visage are pretty fucking core, and they always will be, to be honest. If you look at any Darius main, you'll always see them using them. And yeah, so that's the Cleaver build, guys. We're going to go on to the next one, and I'm going to go on to my favorite, the one that I worked on quite a lot, and I have been over most of this season, and really not so much towards the end of the season. It's mostly season 7, so mostly this season that I've worked on this build. A build that quite a lot of people frown upon. Quite a lot of people don't like me seeing me use it, to be honest, because they think it's quite lackluster. It's not really, you know, in their face punching. It's more defensive. It's more passive-ish. But I've changed it up a little bit to make it so it's a little bit more, you know, punch him in the fucking face, you know. I'll go through it. So you've got Frozen Mallet. Of course, Frozen Mallet is a fucking brilliant item. You know, the slow is just extra utility, and some people say that Frozen Mallet is just not needed. You don't need that extra utility. You've already got your W slow, you've got your E, knock up, pull, and then you've got the 1 second, the 40%, 1 second slow. I think it's 40% afterwards, and it's just not needed, right? So, but in my opinion, if you can manage to grab yourself any more utility when you're playing as Darius, you can never have enough utility on Darius. I'm sorry, but the slow on Frozen Mallet is absolute beast. It's got tons of HP, So it's really good early, especially when you're going against ganks. If you can manage to maybe stay pretty clean in lane, you know, you've managed to focus on, you know, farming, and maybe you've got like a kill on the laner or something, what have you, and you get an early frozen mallet. I mean, that jungler will be really risking his own life and his laner's life if he's going to go against a Darius that's slightly ahead with a frozen mallet, because the HP is absolute beast, and you're going to be healing up a lot. It also does have damage. It doesn't have as much as Black Cleaver, but it's not really that much of a difference. So that's not really a problem. And yeah, it's brilliant. I love the frozen mallet, so that's the first item. The second item will be Frozen Heart. Now, obviously, this is kind of conditional because, you know, if you're against let's say a Swain top or something, then of course going Frozen Heart is a little bit stupid. But you can also, you don't have to build it straight away. You don't have to rush it or anything. You can just put it to the side a bit, and you can go on to the third item, which would be Spirit Visage. We'll get onto that in a minute. You could just build a Spectre's Cowl or something in the meantime. So Frozen Heart, obviously self-explanatory really. I mean, if you're going against an AD top, it will always be fantastic. If you're going against a the ADC, it was fantastic. If your mid laner's AD, if your jungle, if their mid laner is AD, if their jungler is AD, then it's absolutely fantastic. And hell, it's still good against every champion that you'll come across at League of Legends, because it still reduces attack speed of, you know, anyone, regardless of how much, if they're stacking AD or not. So that's Frozen Heart. But let's talk about stats as well. I think it's 100 armor. It's just armor, mana, and of course you've got the attack speed reduction, which is an aura, which is in my opinion kind of better than Randuin's slow, because obviously that requires them to actually hit you. So the aura is really good if you've got like a Yasuo mid, you've got the ADC, and maybe say an AD top lane or an AD jungler. If the enemy has all three of them, then you're going to be slowing all three of them, rather than having a condition that is they have to be hitting you. So let's go on to the third item, that's Spirit Visage. Spirit Visage is obviously fantastic, it's core on everyone, and I don't even need to explain to you why that's in there. It's in there for a reason. It's got the extra healing, 30% extra healing, it's got the CDR, it's got the HP, it's got the MR. Steraks Gage, we've already gone through that. It's pretty fucking good at the moment. I'm loving it, I'm loving using it. Shield is basically just absolute fucking beast. Again, Righteous Glory, just gone through that. So Righteous Glory for the move speed, a little bit for the passive, the HP, the mana, etc, etc. And of course Mercury Treads. Now I feel like Mercury Treads is pretty important. I mean, if they are full AD, you could go Ninja Tabi, obviously, but if they're not, and there's at least one, you know, maybe AP stacking champ like the mid laner, like an Ari or whatever, Mercury Treads is pretty important. The only reason why I'm saying it's pretty important is because this build doesn't really have any MR in it. It's mainly AD based, armor based, shall I say. So taking Mercury Treads is just making you a bit more beefy in the realm of MR. So that's the Mallet build. Now I still feel like it's a little bit lacking. I want to change it up a little bit. Maybe I'll see where I can change it up, but I feel like it's almost finished. So we'll go on to the third build. Now these two builds are builds that I literally just come off the top of my head, and I haven't really used them properly. So yeah, I literally just wrote them down. So I think we'll go this one first. We'll go the Bulldozer. I'm going to call this one the Bulldozer build. This is Frozen Heart, Deadman's Plate, Spirit Visage, Steraks Gage, Gargoyle Stone Plate, the new item, which is fantastic, and Mercury Treads. So let's go through this. So it's Frozen Heart, we've already gone through. Obviously I've just explained that twice. Deadman's Plate, obviously I've explained that. Spirit Visage, Steraks Gage, I've explained all four of them. Now the whole point of this build is to be the most beefiest, tankiest motherfucker you'll ever come across. And this will be good if you've got maybe a squishy mid laner, a really, really squishy mid laner, or maybe you've got a Kog'Maw or something that you can just you need to peel for something, because it does come a time when you really do need to peel and kind of think about your teammates in it. Being selfish, I feel sometimes is what costs you games. So really this one is for people who want to be kind of a team player, I guess, but also to if you really like being tanks, proper tanky, this is the dog's bollocks. This is the shit, man. So obviously Frozen Heart, Deadman's Plate, Spirit Visage, Steraks Gage, and Gargoyle Stone Plate. Gargoyle Stone Plate, I feel like, is an absolutely beast item. It makes you into such a fucking raid boss. It's just uncanny. Gargoyle Stone Plate, so the base stats are 40 armor, 40 magic resist. If you're around 3 enemy champions at once, obviously, that doubles to 80. So you'll have 80 armor, 80 magic resist, which is absolutely fantastic. It's basically a better version of what ZZ Rock gives you, I think, and what the old Guardian Angel used to give you as well. So that's fantastic in itself. I mean, that just for an item is absolutely fantastic. But then it goes on, you get this you get this passive that if you're around 1 or 2 enemy champions, you get like an extra 40% bonus HP for 4 seconds, and you have a minus 60% damage reduction on your damage, which is okay. But when you're around 3, not only do you get your base stats doubled, but you also get your fucking health doubled. It's ridiculous. It's bonkers. I've used it a few times. The only thing I don't like about Gargoyle Stone Plate is the damage reduction. I'm not too fond of it. I mean, I know obviously that Darius does true damage, blah 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 blah. So if you do get your passive off in a team fight, you can just pop it, so you can just be absolutely tankiest motherfucker in the world. Resist loads of burst, basically be completely invulnerable for 4 seconds, and you could just basically auto attack or Q or W or whatever you want to do, as you Darius mains already know. That you just pop your passive on, and then it's not going to reduce the true damage, because true damage is true damage, and you can just absolutely beast out. And then once it wears off, you've still got all your previous HP is still there intact. So it's absolutely amazing item. I feel like I need to use it a bit more, just to get the hand on it, get a grip on it. And I feel like for all other Darius mains, I feel like they'll have the same kind of feeling about it. You need to get used to it. You need to get a proper grip on it so it feels right for you. Mercury treads as well, of course. I put in there, and I haven't put like you know, Ninja Tabi or Swifty boots or anything, because this doesn't really have any MR in it. It's similar to the Mallet Build, it doesn't really have much MR in it. So I've kind of put Mercury treads in there just for the MR, and of course the passive as well, and the tenacity. So let's go on for the last build. Now this is the kind of build that I never really ever go. But this is for the people that like to be a bit more aggressive. So I've called this the Aggressor Build. So this is Black Cleaver or Trinity Force. Obviously Black Cleaver being that, you know, if there's tanks on their team, you're not going to go Trinity Force, where you could, possibly, potentially. But Black Cleaver is still an extremely aggressive item, and always will be. Obviously Trinity Force is even more of an aggressive item, and if you're against someone like a Wukong or a Teemo or what have you, and they haven't got any real major tanks, then obviously Trinity Force is absolutely amazing. I don't really need to go through what Trinity Force is and how amazing it is, because you know, you guys already know what Trinity Force is and its stats and stuff. So that's that. You got Steraks Gage, of course, already explained that. Now Death Stance, I mean, everyone's been raging about how good this has been since it got buffed, but it's only 5 AD, and I think people are raving about this item a little bit too much on Darius. I mean, I love Death Stance, don't get me wrong, but it's just not part of my it's not really it doesn't really fit my play style, shall I say. But obviously for the sake of the Aggressor build, it's fantastic. The healing is fantastic. Again, it's CDR, it's damage, it's they also buff the amount of damage you take over time rather than straight away as well, which again is absolutely fantastic. It went from 15% to 30%, which is the dog's bollocks again. So Death Dance is Death Dance, that's right there. I've got Frozen Mallet here because obviously that's really an aggressive item. It's going to make you a lot more tanky as well as having a lot more utility. I feel like if you go through an aggressive, a really aggressive Darius build and you don't include much HP, you're really going to fucking struggle. You really are going to fucking struggle. So I put Frozen Mallet in there for more HP, obviously utility. Obviously it's got damage as well, so I'll put that in there as well. And of course the new Guardian Angel, which is absolutely beast of 2, so that's armor and 30 AD. And of course the passive in itself is fantastic if you are an aggressive Darius. And of course having an extra life when you're playing an aggressive, such an aggressive item build such as this is absolutely fantastic. So there you go, guys. I'll put all these builds in the description. Unfortunately, I'm the shittest editor YouTube has ever seen, so you're not going to get some absolute awesome fancy material, you know, all this stuff. So you just have to listen to my foul voice throughout this, or you have been listening to my foul voice throughout this whole thing. I hope you love this video. I'm going to be doing some other videos. I'm going to be doing some matchup videos to just kind of tell you maybe or at least how I deal with, how I think that people should deal with certain matchups, mainly in the top lane, not necessarily bot lane like Vayne or something. It's pretty much just going to be top lane based. You know, Irelia, you know, or whatever, Jax, fucking you name it, whatever, Wukong, you know. And yeah, so if you liked, guys, leave a like. If you didn't, leave a thumbs down. As usual, I don't give a shit. If you haven't already subscribed, I hope you click that button and subscribe if you like my content. I put content up mainly between 1 and 3 days, at least one, and I try my best to at least get something up every day, but it's quite hard at the moment, but I try my very best for you guys. Guys, I hope you have a brilliant and fantastic day. Peace fucking out.